It's time for the love theme of Flash Gordon. That's right, in the space capsule, the love theme, next on Crown Jewels. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PLD Project's Crown Jewels. I'm your host, PLD, and this is the podcast where we go on a journey through the entirety of the Queen catalog, song by song, version by version, trying to figure out which version of every song is the best version, or the Crown Jewel version, the one we're going to slide into our Spotify Ultimate Playlist and YouTube Music Ultimate Playlist, as it were. This week, we continue our journey down the Flash Gordon soundtrack, track 2, in the space capsule, the love theme. And this, my friends, will be a short episode because we only have one version to listen to. That's right, the album version is the sole version of In the Space Capsule, the love theme. Written by Roger Taylor. It features Roger Taylor on drums, timpani, and synthesizer, and features John Deacon on guitar. And that's it. No Freddie, no Brian, and it is John Deacon on guitar. Now, there hasn't been a lot said about this track. I don't have any notes or quotes from this one, so let's get right into listening to it. And how are we going to listen to it? Well, if you look into the show notes, you'll have a link to a Google Doc, which has a link to a YouTube version of the song. So when I tell you to, you'll pause me, click on that link, listen to the track, come back, and then we shall talk about it. And guess what? That's going to be right now. So pause me, go listen, come back, we'll talk about it. And there you have it. That is In the Space Capsule, the love theme. And you're probably starting to guess why some people have a hard time ranking this as a proper Queen album. It was released as a proper Queen album, not just the soundtrack, but really it's a lot of this, a lot of instrumental pieces. Roger Taylor specifically goes off on the keyboards and synths a lot. There are a lot of spacey sci-fi keyboard synth. This actually reminds me a lot of something like Vangelis would have done. Vangelis, who of course did Blade Runner and all that kind of 80s droney synthy score. I got those little chords in the beginning from John Deacon, the little guitar chords in the beginning. But the rest of it is this drony, kind of very big soundscapey kind of stuff. There's noise going on, but it's more of the atmosphere, more of the tone. There's some nice little waves of chord progressions. I really like the chord progression itself. It actually feels very smooth, very moving, and kind of emotional. It's actually very psychedelic in a way. I do find that there was a cover version by a psychedelic band called Teeth of the Sea, which extended this whole thing out. That really kind of expands on that psychedelic feel. This album version is not quite that psychedelic, but it's got the bass of a psychedelia kind of sound. Roger does add some drum beats to it, some rhythmic, and that kind of leads back to more of the Flash Gordon Queen style soundtrack. But generally speaking, it's very much a soundscape of a song. There is some dialogue at the end about Flash and company making it through the void from Earth to Mongo. That part I don't love. I guess it worked for the theme song. The theme song is kind of an overture, so you get a little bit of the dialogue from throughout the movie. But I don't like specifically having tracks like this where it has dialogue from this part. So I'd rather just get the score. Give me the score. Give me the music behind it. It does end here with those loud orchestrations, and then we got some more dialogue. So for my own personal opinion, get rid of the dialogue, give me a pure soundscape. I'd love to get a remastered version of the remix thing, a version of this without any of the dialogue in it. I think just hearing the pure Queen with help from Howard Blake orchestrations, that would really be something to listen to as far as I'm concerned. And there you have it, because that is the Crown Jewel version. We don't have any others to rank, so pretty easy this week for sure. We do have to rate it, though, on a scale of 1 to 11, because we always turn things up to 11 here on PLD Projects. I would give this track a solid 9. I really love Vangelis. I really love these kind of spacey sci-fi droney kind of soundtrack scores, and this fits right up that alley for me. It's not, the whole album's not exactly like this. You're going to find out as more goes on, but this one really hits the 1980s sci-fi kid in me. And now, if you're a longtime listener, you know I've been building up my top 10 Queen-related tracks of all time as we go through. I always see, does the song of the week slide into that top 10? And you also know, if you're a longtime listener, that this one will not, because all my top 10 are at 10.5 and 11. So a 9 doesn't quite cut it, although I really do like it. So unfortunately, it does not have its place. Well, that's going to do it for this week, folks. Like I said, it's kind of a quick and easy run this week. Next week, we continue with the Flash Gordon soundtrack, Ming's theme, In the Court of Ming the Merciless. Ming is played by Max von Sydow. Legendary actor. That's going to do it for this week, though. Like I said, if you like this, if you subscribe, hit that, click that notification bell for us. Leave a comment. Let us know what's going on. If you're listening to us on the audio side of things, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. What do you think about this song? Let me know what you want to see next on Crown Jewels besides this particular podcast. I'm trying to do some more content there eventually. I'm also doing more content on patreon.com/PLD Projects, where I have such crew members as Austin Goodell and Brandon Buckingham, really great people. You can join that crew. Heck, one of the things I do on Patreon is get the Crown Jewels up early. So I usually record it earlier on in the week, so I get it right up on the Patreon. You can get it earlier there if you'd like. If not, I get it. I understand the times are tough, but you can like, you can subscribe, you can share, and try to build this community out. That'd be wonderful. I really appreciate us all fighting the evil empire that is the almighty algorithm. Well, that's going to do it for this week, folks. We will see you next week, like I said, to continue on our journey. Until then, may the force be with you, always. Wait, that's the wrong sci-fi movie. You know what I'm talking about. See you next week.